Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris Zanto and today we're going to be teaching you how to do a quick, easy motion monogram with PowerDirector, an inexpensive video editing program. Quick, easy, to the point, no fluff. Here we go. All right, here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open the program. Let you know I just woke up. It's early. It's a Friday morning. I have no job tonight, so I decided to do this video. Still in my pajamas. Home office. All right, so I'm going to right now open CyberLink PowerDirector. I have PowerDirector 16. I think they're up in levels. The motion monogram is a monogram that has a little bit of motion. It doesn't mean that the whole thing needs to fly around the screen, anything crazy like that, or rather the wall, which most of us will be projecting them on, I assume. Projected on the wall, okay? All right, so we have the program open, and what you're going to notice right now on the screen is a project that I've already done, and I'm going to show you that, what it looks like right now. Cool, right? So basically any monogram that has some motion either in it, behind it, around it, or the monogram itself moves, that's a motion monogram. So basically it's something that's nice and stagnant, and then all of a sudden it does something that's you get a little bit of a wow factor, which is awesome. So I'm going to play a clip of this here, of what we did, and then we're gonna go back and tear it apart real quick. So what you're going to see right now is a name flying in. This isn't rendered, so it's a little choppy looking, okay? So it's not going to look like that when you make it. And I'm going to speed it up. So you have names that fly in, Jess and Steven with the and sign, all right? And then the next effect you're going to see was a Disney-esque wedding, Disney. And we're going to have a castle burning in the background, which is gray, which is hard to see on the wall, but their colors were mint green, so you can see that burn on in now. You see the date coming in. And then what do you need with the date is, you know, Mickey Mouse would be good, or something that looks like Mickey Mouse. All right, so now you have basically a motion monogram, and you get the idea. All right, so quick and simply, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretty much delete all of this. I'm just going to take this out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move it down the timeline so I don't lose it. All you're going to see on here, guys, is multiple channels, and I'm going to just take them all out. See ya. Adios. Bye-bye. Don't need you. Well, this one I'm going to move down. So I want to keep the, I don't know what fonts I use, and I want to keep the fonts. All right. So with these tracks right here, all you have is different layers, and the further down the text layer, which is T, which is what you're going to put your names in, is always going to remain on top of everything. Anything you put on any of the video tracks will be below it. All right. So quickly, what we're going to do is we're going to select T for text. And you have a ton of choices within these programs, and if you wanted to do titling, any kind of, I mean, if you click on one of these, you'll kind of get an idea. And these are effects that you can just use. I mean, if you want, and I've used this before for names to come in, these kind of effects, you can use them. That I don't like because it brightens up the screen and you'll see the edge of your projection a little bit. So in any of these, you can slow down a little bit. Some of the stuff that you want to do with motion monograms, though, is you don't really want to see stuff coming in from the edges, because then it gives away the effect and you start to see things coming in. I don't mind it so much. Some people get on your case if you're like, oh, well, you take away from the magic. But it's still pretty magical, right? It's cool. So you can look through all these, and there's different types of things that you can do, and there's like some 3D type stuff and titles and But for the purpose of this, let's see what's sparkling. What we're going to do is we're going to take our default, put it down into our title section, which is T, and then we're going to stretch it out. Usually I do about 4 or 5 minutes. For this, we're going to just do 3 minutes for rendering purposes, and we're going to double click it. And you're going to see we have our highlighted box right over here over my title. And we're going to double click that. And we're going to pick our font, which is any font you have in your computer. And this is the one I use, so this is the one I will use. All right. And now we have a bunch of options. For one, we're going to make this a whole lot bigger. We're going to be putting a lot more words up here, so we're going to yes. All right, and now what we're going to do is get this out of the way a little bit, but what we're going to do is we're going to thicken it up, and we're going to do that simply by adding a border. Boop. And that's crazy, and we're not going to do that, but I noticed that kind of a gray or silver is kind of cool. We're going to be using white lettering, so let's do this. And then we're going to shrink that because it's ridiculous. All right. We don't need much of one. I do like a little bit of a blur. And you can see that coming out now, which is cool. And that's pretty cool. We can do a lot more here. I'm going to try to put a little bit of a shadow, which we're not going to see here. And the more you use this, the more you'll understand a little bit of this, but this is simple, and it's kind of hard to tell because it's on black, but when it's on white you might see a little bit of it. But I like this little bit of a gray border. It makes it kind of a little more three-dimensional on the wall, in my opinion, and pretty much any kind of print or anything else. All right, so we have that, and we can do other things too if we need to. We can stretch these out. I like them closer together. And so we've got one, and what we're going to do is we're just going to double click somewhere else. Now that we have our settings and our colors, we're just going to go ahead and put the other name. All right, and we need an and. There's our and our and is way too big. So we'll double click in that bad boy there, and we can change it right here to shrink it down. We're just going to go a little bit smaller, because when we move it, we can always just shrink it up a little bit this way. So let's see how this looks. All right. What do you think? Pretty close, pretty straight, a little bit higher. So we can eyeball this, which is actually pretty much what I do, just to get it to kind of feel how you like it. If you want it a little above and below, but when I'm going to put something behind here and then I'm going to put something over here. So I'm probably still going to move all this stuff over a little bit because we are, but you can use these grid lines, which we have set up right here. You can see that you can align to certain places, and then the grid lines already have up. That's in a different setting, but that kind of really helps you realize where the center of everything is. All right, so I believe this is actually like dead center. You can actually go over here and tell it to horizontal center, which it is, and then you can adjust everything accordingly. Since Steven is longer though, I'm screwing myself up. Steve, you're too long. So we're gonna move him over here. And we're just going to see how everything looks. We're going to eyeball it. Eyeballed. Pretty good. Okay. So now that we have that, we're going to decide how all of this comes into effect. All right. So we can choose an effect. We have to click on them and choose an effect for them to come in. And all we have to do is pick one. I'm going to pick the same for both. So we have a starting effect and an ending effect. Our starting effect. All right, we can do all these. If you watch them, you'll kind of see what they do. And then we can adjust the time and if they go slow or fast when they do it. It's a piece of cake, all right? that's kind of cool. So again, I don't really like them when they come through the border, but like that's kind of cool because it doesn't start above the screen, it starts in the screen. Like these, you can't adjust too much on some of them, but these are really cool too. When you slow them down, they're pretty badass. Badass. And it's taking a very long time there because right here, you're gonna see how long we're having to take. And we're gonna change that right now, as a matter of fact, because that's crazy. All right, so, boop. All right, so we're gonna take these, and what time we got here? We're gonna shrink these up. So we're gonna let them take about 20 seconds, and we're gonna make everything the same. We don't have to, we can do them differently, but we're gonna say 20:05 for all of them. So now they're just gonna be a little quicker. All right. So let's pick something simple. It's taking a long time because I'm trying to show you and my screen's recording it, so it's dragging. It's dragging its heels. And let's do something simple. There you go, they come from the back. So we're gonna do zoom. All right, we'll do zoom. And we can just pop right through them right here. We're gonna pick zoom. And our hand sign, we'll pick zoom. Just for fun, they're all gonna come in at the same time, okay? Now, adversely, what we wanna do is select an ending effect. And these are usually just the opposite. So this is just a kind of a fade out. It's whatever, kind of. So we're gonna pick that, and we're gonna pick it for that. It's kind of a little bit cooler than a fade out. So amplify horizon, whatever. Sounds good. But we're gonna take this, and they got a duration of 1 minute, and we're gonna take that and shrink that timing up a little bit here. But we're gonna bring them all the same. We don't have to. What we can do is we can have the and sign go out a little earlier. And then we'll just leave their names up. So this will go out sooner. Like so. Way too long. All right, so 30 seconds, way too long. 12 seconds. All right, cool. Move you there. Snap you to that guy. Beautiful. And whoop. The end sign's about 8 seconds. All right, so that is good. So this is what we got. We have all this slowly coming up from the background. Then once it's full, it'll stay there until about 2 minutes and 45, 2 minutes 50 seconds in, and then it will start to fade out. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add a layer. And with our effects, not our effects, but rather the clips we already have, and we have created these effects, and they're PNGs, which means they have no backgrounds. So we have a gray castle, we have a kind of a teal minty green castle, and the ears. We're not going to worry about the gray because I noticed it really didn't show that well on the wall. We'll do it because we did it before. So all we're going to do is click and drag that onto our timeline where we want it. Drag it to how long we want it to be there. This one I didn't do too long because I'm going to bring the other one in. And that's pretty much dead center, but we're going to shrink it up a little bit. And this is exact, I mean, this is not, won't unsize, so just drag it from the corner and it'll keep the same shape. Won't skew it at all. And we're going to put that right in the middle behind here. That's kind of nice. But what we're going to do is we're just going to add a transition over it. And all we're going to do is click and go to our transitions. and we have a bunch of different transitions, and you can kind of check them out. Here's all of them. Click all content, and basically you'll see things like this. Again, I look for something that won't affect the outsides as much. Since we're dealing with black backgrounds, it really won't mess with much like this. So if I throw this on the front of this clip, this is what you'll see. See how it kind of fizzles on in? Kind of cool, but not that cool. So I'm a big fan of some of these effects, and the ones that I'm a big fan of are like the fire. Fire, fire, fire. So special. They're special. They're special. Burning. That's what I call it. So we're going to put the burning one in there, and then I know that I want it to take longer. So if you double click the effect, you can adjust the effect. So we're going to make that take, let's make it take 7 seconds to burn in. Okay. What I'm going to do is press OK, rather enter, and then you're going to see that it got larger here. So we got 7 seconds, we only got 25 seconds on the whole thing, and this is what it'll look like. Sweet. But now that we have that, I need this to be the other color. So all I need to do is to come back, take our green one, put it on another layer, a little bit in there, and then we're going to stretch this out. How long is this? Almost 2 minutes. So we're going to take it, and we want it to last almost the whole time. All right, and we can just look at it. I'm sorry, I'm going to make my timeline a little smaller so you can see it. It ends here. And then what we can do is we can see the ends, we can see it's going away. So what I like to do is I just like to have the names up last. All right, so we have this, and so we'll just go back to our transitions, to the lightning bolt here, special, burning, put it right on the beginning, double click on it, and I'm going to take that up again, 7 seconds. I like to be a little crazy with my transitions. And this is what we'll have on this. You want to click movie here instead of clip. If you do clip, it'll just play the selected clip, which would be this, and it would stop. Or well, actually, if it's like this, it would play it and stop. But movie, we'll just keep rolling until we stop it. All right, and this is what it looks like. We have the gray, and then let's see here, we have just a few seconds. Actually, I think it's too long, and then it will go ahead and sizzle right over, and I didn't resize it, did I? Yeah, I didn't resize it, so I want to get it to be right on top of that. So all I got to do is double click on it. It'll open up. All right, so that is lined up, and what we're going to do anyway is we're going to make the other one so short, the other one's actually going to disappear. So I'm going to move this one over just a smidge, and I'm going to just shorten this one because it doesn't matter. Once that other one burns in, it doesn't matter, which is right there. So that one will go bye-bye. And this is what will happen. Your castle is going to burn in. And I'm going to move it over more. And then your other color is going to burn over. And then your other one is just disappeared. So we're going to change that some more. And what we'll do is we'll put a fade on the back so you don't see it. And we can always stretch our timeline out so we get a better look at it. There we go. We're going to move that right up to there. And then we're going to take this down to here. And then what we'll do is we're just going to, we can do so much stuff with this. So if we double click in this, you'll see fades. We're going to click enable fade out. All right. That should be good enough. So we should see that fade right there. And then later, if you can click and drag this and move it to where you want. But this should look a little smoother as we fade it out. It just shrunk just a tiny bit, so you can't really see the transition there, which is nice. All right, so now we have this. And now I want to bring in our date, and I'll bring the date in right here. And then we want to burn in our Mickey. All right, so we're gonna bring in our Mickey, and we can put it above, below, it doesn't matter. We can put it right on this timeline, and obviously it's way too big, and once you put it on, you can adjust it right on the main screen. And we're gonna put it over here somewhere. That's nice. That's nice, old Mickey Mouse. Gonna leave him right there, and we'll pick a little different transition for him just for fun. Let's see, what do we want? General. Maybe let's try this. Let's see what it does. Oh, that's kind of cool. So Mickey kind of flies in, but doesn't fly in from off the screen. Different than what I did before, but let's go with it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to extend Mickey because we want him to stick around for a long time. And you can see it's just about a minute. And let's give him a transition out as well. And we're going to do the same thing. Let's put that on the end and see what that looks like. It looks like this. Oh, I hate that. So let's not do that. Delete that guy. And let's do something special. Nope. A lot of trial and error when you're looking at some of these things. So evaporate. Yeah, those are always cool. Here we go. Cool. And like I said, if we take the time and we adjust them so they're longer or whatnot, they have more of an effect, which is kind of cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch that out. 7 seconds. That's kind of cool. And then I'm going to actually do the same thing. Is there another one? Is there another one? Something cool. Yeah, let's just do this. And we'll stretch that out to 5. Let's do something weird. Let's do the whole time that this one is. Let's see what this looks like. All right. Different, but I don't like it. So get rid of that guy, and let's do something different. Let's see what these blocks look like right here. So that's a little different. I think it'll look cool on a wall. It might give up your edges a little bit, but makes it a little bit more modern. So what the heck, we're gonna stick with that. And the last thing we needed was our date. All right, so we're gonna put our date in, and we don't have to put it on the text channel. I mean, on the title channel, we can put it on another channel, which is what we're gonna do because we have the names forever and a day. Actually, we can just put it right in there too, and we can just adjust the time. So let's do that. So here we go. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add another channel right here. Just double clicking, you're gonna see it's down here, 4. And we're gonna put the date in. And let's do today's date just for fun. 3/22/2019. And we're just gonna do 19. And what we're gonna do is we're going to shrink that bad boy up. Oop. Shrinky dink. All right. And what we need to do is we need to see where exactly we need it, because we don't know yet. I know we don't need this too long, so we'll bring it to, what is this? 10 seconds, okay. Usually with the date, I have that leave before everything else. Just a preference. You can do whatever you want. You can have them out there as long as you want. 7 seconds, whatever. It's fine. And we're gonna wait till we see our Mickey. And where's our Mickey come in? Okay, here comes Mickey. So we're gonna use our little frame by frame here. Okay, you can see Mickey's flying in. And so what we're gonna do is time. Slow computer. What we're gonna do is we're gonna set that right where we want it. And again, we'll just pick a, we can pick a quick effect again for in and out, and our starting effect for this. And we don't have to do anything crazy. We can just do a kind of a, we can just do a fade. So we'll do that. We're just gonna do a fade, which was a quick fade, so it's kind of hard showing. But here, we're just gonna fade that bad boy in. And then our ending effect, we're gonna do a fade also, for time's sake. All right, and we're gonna make this just a little bit longer. 10 and 10. Awesome. We're gonna let that ride, and we're gonna see what happens. All right, so we're just gonna take it back. Our date's fading in, and our Mickey Mouse flies in. And we can adjust wherever all that goes, fine tune it the way you want it. But that is pretty much as simple as it gets. All right, that's pretty much it. And that was pretty easy. And even doing this and explaining it to you, I'm under 30 minutes right now, and all I gotta do is render it, and then we'll show you what it looks like. And then we'll show you the one we made that we actually used on the wall, but this is exactly how we did it. A couple things might have been slightly different as far as transitions or whatnot, but that was it. So I'm going to just see how this ends, because what you'd want to do, in my opinion, is to make sure that you have just a little bit of end time, so it goes black before it starts over again, just so if you use Windows Media Player or something like that loops, it doesn't flicker at the end and start over. It just starts over, it goes to black, and then fades back in and starts over. Glitchless. Glitchless. So we're fading out. And peace out, it's all done. All right, so, and I just left a little room in the beginning, and I'm going to scale down this whole timeline so I can see anything and everything that exists. And all we have is this, which I don't need, delete, and this that I don't need, delete. And we're going to go to produce. And this was for something else. And we have our custom profiles. We have our video projection one. I can go into that more. If you decide to get this, let me know, and I'll give you the settings that I use. But these are going to be good for my projector that I use. And I will also give you that information once again, and I'll also show you the mount that I use for it. And I'll show you some pictures of the job that I did with this monogram. All right, so all I'm going to do is do this, select my location where I want everything, which is Jess and Steven, produce MP4, Cyberlink. Let's produce this to here. All right, Jess and Steven. Example for YouTube. Bam. Save and start. If my screen is still recording, which I believe it is, you can see the movie is currently producing, and it is at a whole whopping 1%. And we're doing it at a pretty high quality, so it'll be just a couple minutes. Excuse me. I'm going to pause and come right back. And maybe I'll go put some pants on. I got pants on, I'm just kidding. Maybe. All right, be right back. While this is rendering, I want to show you the mount that I use, speaker pole mount. I use a Canon stand, flat base speaker stand, because it's awesome. And I use this wonderful Living Motion Monograms X2 mount. If you're looking for a mount, it's not the most inexpensive mount, but it's super heavy duty. And you've got all these adjustments here. So Once I loosen this bad boy up, you got a ball joint on top, so you can pretty much swivel, swivel, swivel. It's a little tight in there, which is not a bad thing. You also have your tightening, and you have this safety latch. So the bracket, when it slides on here, once you get it on here and lock it, it keeps it pretty much in place. You tighten it up, but if you do loosen it, it'll only fall as far as this little nub here, which is great. Also, if you need to, you can actually fire this thing straight down. You can use it perfectly sideways, all right, which is pretty crazy. So if you need to invert and do 16:9 Instagram style, you can do it. So it's awesome. You can do everything you need with this thing. Straighten it back up. And then also you have your 360 swivel this way as well. So you can make some fine adjustments. Now, if your projector has keystoning, which it should, 4-corner keystoning, it helps eliminate a lot of this fudging with these things. And in Grand VJ, again, you can pretty much straighten that thing up. Piece of cake, as easy as 1, 2, 3. X2 mount, living motion monograms. Mike Anderson's the man. If you need one of these, I'll link you up with his website. Also, my projector is in this beautiful Pelican case. Pelican Storm case. Sweet, heavy duty, about a perfect fit. And here is my Optima EH504 Wi-Fi. It's bang, it fits perfectly. Pull out the styrofoam, set it all up, and my little kit right here. All I got is my basic cable, the remote, and I've got these USB cables because I have in my other bag, I don't have it in front of me, but just in case, I have a wow. This is a computer stick. Computer stick allows a USB plugged right into it, and you can actually take these video files, put them right on this. It's very small, dry, but it's a personal little computer. A little Wi-Fi keyboard you can plug into it, and plug it into the back of this. It does need power. I didn't think it was going to, but I do need to use power for it. But if I need the projector away from my laptop, I can plug it in, 2 AC outlets, plug this thing into the back, use a wireless keyboard, go right into Windows Media Player, put it on loop, walk away. I'll put the link for that below too, and we'll do a little video on that someday maybe. Alright, but this thing's pretty awesome. And the bottom of this thing looks like, and the mount for the Living Motion Monogram X2, the bottom is, wait, can't do this one-handed. This mounting hardware comes with it, so you have basically a nice little mount right there that slides right into the X2. You just leave this right on here. You're good to go. Mounting screws, you can slide, make sure it's all lined up, and you're good to go. And that is it. And keep it nicely. I love the smell of fresh foam in the morning. So that's it. All right, our movie is complete, and I call it a movie because it is a movie, even though it's a motion monogram. Cool. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna play it back right now on this video screen, and we're just gonna go back to edit location. Bam. All right, and then what you're gonna see is it's gonna pop up right here, and we can click on it, and it will start to play. We're gonna go full screen on this bad boy here, and you can see it coming into motion now, rather into our vision here. And I'm going to hold on a second. Previews, our previews are not so good, so what I'm going to do is, where did I do it? I am going to open that up, and here is our, I'm going to let that go, and that's going to disappear even the same way as it would on the wall. So here we go. Looking pretty. You like it? Ooh, ah. All right, so we have Jess and Steven. And then you should see our burn-in come in any second. Fire. Here comes our castle. There it is. There's a burn-in of our gray castle. And then we should get our color. Nice. You'll see the other one fade out ever so slightly behind it, which almost gives it its own motion. And then you'll see Mickey fly on in. Our date's fading in. And Mickey's in. All right. So date is now fully darkened up. And you can see on this, when it's over the green, you can see it's the black shadow as well, which is kind of cool. So most of our walls are going to be kind of white, gray, tan, yellowish, but lighter generally. Otherwise, we might not be doing this because the walls are too dark. It might kind of look, it'd be all right. But, so that is that, and then everything will disappear down here some point. So I just sped it up to get to it, so we check it out. And here goes Mickey. Looks like a dissipating scary moon of some sort. And then the castle should be going momentarily. Say goodbye, castle. And it blocked out, so it's very three-dimensional and cool though. So it's cool. The only thing I forgot to show you is adding some sparkle. So let me go back real quick. We're going to reopen this program, and you're going to find yourself doing that anyway. You're going to find yourself going back and forth and doing a couple things. And what we do is, since we already have everything in here, we're going to expand our timeline a little bit more so we can see it. And we are going to go into these particles right here. Nope, 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 nope. Maybe it is fairy dust. Yes, fairy dust. I like fairy dust. All right, so all we're going to do is we're going to throw the fairy dust down here over our castle. We're going to stretch that bad boy out. And then what we're going to do is, check it out. So remember how I told you when we were doing this that you kind of want to hide where it starts on the edges and falling at the end. So you'll have to adjust a few parameters with this. So what I'll do is I'll double click in the particles that we have, and you'll see all these different parameters here. Okay. With those, you'd have to mess around because this is just a beginning tutorial. But seeing, if I click on the first one, you'll see this yellow bar on the top. And I can just go ahead and pull that down. I can see that I have some of the particles. And what I'll do is I will squeeze them in so I know that they're all in frame, not going crazy. Try to keep them straight. All right, and then I'm just gonna go right down the line and do that with all of them. And also, I'm not gonna let them start all the way at the top because I don't wanna see them fall in from above the frame. So if you see the edge of that box, you'll know there's a box there. But if they start within the box, you won't really see it. I don't even know what this is, but I'm going to do that anyway. All right, and entrance again. We'll just pull this down a little bit as well, and we'll narrow it up a little bit. So you have different depths of particles that it's got. It's got some small ones, some big ones, some slightly different colors, and you can change all this stuff. But this is kind of what's going on right now. So you can see it starts a little bit below, which is cool. So they kind of fade in. And I don't really like how they fall off the bottom, because again, if there's any chance of you seeing that box there, this is going to enhance that. So what you'd have to do is go through and change how long they last. So the life of them. All right, so you can take the life of them and cut it down. We're just gonna cut it to 3000, and I'm not sure if that's going to work or not, but I'm just going to do that on all of them. So we went ahead and got that all rendered out, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at it now with the pixel dust. Pixel dust. And we're going to see it fade in. We're going to see our castle come in. And now we're gonna see our pixie dust. Here it comes. It's pretty, so pretty, so pretty. I think I might cry a little bit. It's so pretty. A bride will love it. Now we're gonna take a quick look at finished product and what it looked like on the wall at the event. See if you can see a box. No box, you can't see a box. Hope you guys liked how we did this today. It was a piece of cake, simple, again, inexpensive program, and I'm all about doing things inexpensively when possible. Obviously, Projector is not inexpensive, but the program to do it and my time, you know, I can charge anywhere between $100 and $250 for one of those. I kind of work it in with a package deal, so I don't have a specific dollar amount necessarily, just in one of my better packages, I include it. And people love it. They'll say a monogram, and then if they see a move, they're like, what's up? You can tell them ahead of time, give them a preview, an example, and then show them other people's. And yours will stand out. Hope you got something out of this, guys. Please subscribe to the channel, tell a friend, come back and see us again. See ya.